Today we are here at the most controversial Thousand Trails park on the West Coast, in my opinion. We are at Thousand Trails Las Vegas RV Resort here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So we're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna address the 2 to 3 main complaints that I see over and over about this park. If you do plan on staying here at this park in the near future, I'm sure you read the reviews and you're wondering, is it worth staying at Thousand Trails Las Vegas RV Resort? Then I'm gonna talk about the pros and the cons about this park, a couple things that are good to know before you visit this park, and then I'll let you know if I do recommend this park or not. We're about to cover all that in today's video. All right, so the number one complaint, can you guess what it is? You've probably seen the reviews on this place, is going to be the tight parking spaces between RVs here at this park. Honestly, I would say there's decent amount of space between RVs, as you can see right there. The only thing I will say is that the car that you are parking in front, your additional vehicle, is really tight. As you can see right here, this is my vehicle parked right in front of our RV. There's not much room from side to side. If the other one did want to come out, I'd probably have to move my car forward. Now, one thing that I will say, I want to make a note on this because I did talk to one of the staff members here. He told me the reason why it is a little tighter is because this park was built in the 70s, and at that time there were no slides on RVs, so there was no need for that extra room to go ahead and pop your slides out. But like I said, this is not even that tight. After reading the reviews before I got here, I was a little worried, but now that I'm here, honestly, there's enough room to put our slide out, there's enough room to put our awning out if we wanted to. It's really not all that tight. So complaint number one is going to be the tight spaces here at this park. So complaint number two that I see over and over while looking up reviews about this park is the noise and the neighborhood around this Thousand Trails park here. I'm talking next to the road on purpose so you can see what kind of noise we're getting. So right here is right where you pull into the park. And as you can see, there's a big alleyway right behind me here where you're gonna go ahead and pull into the park. So there is quite a bit of noise here. Now, I would say personally, this noise right here, you can't even hear it when you're inside the park. So like the cars passing by and stuff like that. But one thing I will say that's consistent every single night is a sound of sirens. You do hear that here on a nightly basis. Even when you're inside your RV, you definitely could hear the sirens. I mean, it's nothing too crazy. It's nothing that keeps you up at night or anything like that, but I will mention that, and it's pretty much consistent every single night. And also there is an airport nearby, the Las Vegas airport. So it's not every single night, but occasionally there is airplanes that fly over like every 5 minutes. Again, you can hear them from your RV, but nothing too major for us. Now, as far as the neighborhood, I'm standing right here, right on the sidewalk between the road and the park. I will say this is not the best neighborhood. This is located in North Las Vegas. There are a bunch of homeless people up and down the street here. I'm not saying that all homeless people obviously have bad intentions, but I wouldn't walk up and down here with my family. I see a lot of reviews of things being stolen from this park, even in broad daylight. I've actually seen a couple, let's say, shady looking characters just walk right into the park, because again, we have the main street here, and then we have the long road that leads right into the park. All we have is a security gate that goes up and down there, so anybody could just walk right past there and go into the park. So I did see that one time. I saw a couple people just walk right into the park. But with that said, the security here is pretty good. Obviously, when you pull in here, we have the little check-in station where the rangers are. They are 24/7 here. Obviously, I see why, but they are pretty good about roaming around throughout the night here. So complaint number 3 that I see all the time kind of ties into number 1, which is the tight spaces. If you see behind me here, we have a huge lot that is being upgraded. There's about 25 sites it looks like here. I've seen reviews dating all the way back until middle of 2021. I did talk to the staff here. They said this whole section here has been down since summer of 21, and as of May 2022, he did say that there's probably at least a few more weeks until all these sites are ready here. So the reason why it is so tight back there in the main park is because you have annuals and you have regular people coming through here all mixed into one. So he did say once this all opens up here, it will free up some space back there. So if you are planning on visiting, again, I'm here right now in May 2022. So I'm assuming by mid-summer or so, all these sites right here should be open. It looks like there is a couple pull-through sites right behind me here, 2 pull-through sites. The rest look like they are going to be back-in sites. Just like the rest of the park, these all do offer 50 and 30 amp sites. So with all those things out of the way, hopefully those didn't scare you away too much from staying here at this park, because there are still a bunch of pros about staying here. So right now we are about to get into the pros, the cons of this park, and then we're gonna finish off with things that are good to know before visiting, and then we'll wrap up with my final thoughts. So first, let's get into the pros. So starting off with the pros, at the top of our list are the level sites here at this Thousand Trails Park. These are all gravel sites. Obviously, these are the ones that they're still working on, but they're the same way throughout the whole park. They're all gravel like this. They are really, really level. That is a huge pro about this park. Another pro is that they do have restrooms, showers, and laundry all in one place. They actually have 3 of these little buildings throughout the park. All 3 of them do have restrooms, laundry, and shower inside of them all in one place. I did see a few reviews about people saying they have rude staff and stuff like that, but everyone from the very front check-in station to the people at the activity center, the maintenance crew throughout the park, everyone that I've talked to here has been really, really friendly and helpful. So I would say one of the pros about this park here is definitely the staff.
Another cool thing about this RV park, it has a pool for hot days like this to cool off.
And another pro about the location of this park is there are tons of things to do nearby. If you do want to get out and about while you're here at the Thousand Trails Park, there is things like the Hoover Dam. There's the Las Vegas Strip, obviously. There's Lake Mead nearby if you want to go fishing and swimming. Death Valley National Park is not too far away. You have the Fremont Street Experience as well, downtown Las Vegas. So there's no shortage of things to do while you're here staying at the park. And another pro is that there is a bunch of shopping and grocery stores nearby. I know the theme with a lot of Thousand Trail parks is sometimes they're really secluded and there's nothing much around. But here you are in the heart of the city. We have a Walmart, which is about 8 minutes away. There's a bunch of other groceries. There is a lot of fast food up and down the street here. So as far as groceries and shopping, you don't have to worry much about that. And if you're traveling with kids like we are, there are a bunch of places to use your reciprocal membership for museums, zoos, aquariums, and stuff like that, all probably within 20 minutes from this park. We've been to the Discovery Children's Museum, which is really awesome. We went to the Las Vegas Natural History Museum, which was really cool as well. Definitely check that one out. There's a neon museum, which they have a bunch of neon signs. That is also a really cool place we're still gonna visit. So that's just a couple of the places here nearby where you can go ahead and use your reciprocal membership to get into these museums. And another pro, since we are in the heart of the city here, gas stations are not a problem. You won't have any problem finding an RV friendly gas station, meaning you can go ahead and fit your RV, pull in and out of the place pretty easy. I saw about 5 or 6 of them just pulling into this park here down the same main road. So as far as finding gas stations for your RV, that's not going to be a problem either. Another pro about this park is that every single site here at this park does have full hookup. So you're going to get sewer, electric, and water at every single site. Another pro is the internet connectivity here. Again, as I keep saying over and over, we are in the heart of the city here. So you do have really good internet reception. I have a T-Mobile hotspot router. We get really good service, 5 bars consistently with that. So as far as Wi-Fi and internet reception, really good here. They do offer paid Wi-Fi as well if you do want to go that route. Another pro is that they do have a dog park here, or a little dog run. It's nothing too crazy, but they do have enough room for your dog to run around here. They have a couple water bowls here. They have some benches for you to sit at. And then they have these things here to go ahead and clean up after your dog, which there is a con when it comes to this dog park, which we will touch here on in a second. And another pro here is obviously the hot tub. We're not big hot tub people, but we got to take advantage of it while we're here, especially because the Las Vegas nights can get pretty cold out here. So another pro about this place, hot tub, definitely a big bonus. And these are the last 2 pros on my list. Number 1 is, since we are a larger RV, we're 35 feet. I'm not sure if they do this for all larger RVs, but they actually assigned us a spot, which could be a con for some of you guys. You don't really get to choose your spot, even though they did give us the option of changing up our spot if we didn't like it. But pulling in, they did give us a site. I actually like that, so we don't have to drive around and look for a spot. It was easy just to drive around, find the spot, and go ahead and back into. And the last pro on my list is the ability to receive mail here. So you could get Amazon packages, FedEx, UPS mail for free here at the ranger station. The only thing that you can't get is regular USPS mail. And with that, that's gonna take us right into the cons of this park. Honestly, for me personally, there's not too many. There's only a few on this list. We already touched on the first 2. The first con on my list is going to be the tight spaces, obviously. Again, it's not super crazy. It is a little tighter than other parks, but that's gonna be my con. I'm gonna put that on there only because it is a little bit tighter than the usual Thousand Trail Park. And number 2, we already talked about as well, but con number 2 on my list is going to be the neighborhood. Again, North Las Vegas, a little bit of a rougher neighborhood. I definitely wouldn't leave anything out overnight. In the middle of the day, I probably wouldn't worry too much. As you can see throughout this video, it's been really calm. Not too much going on here, but definitely I wouldn't leave like any bikes unattended or anything else outside my RV overnight. So I mentioned the dog park being a pro, but there is a con to this dog park. Even though they provide all this stuff for you to go ahead and clean up after your dog, people still don't do that. They let their dog just go and they leave it laying all around this park here. That's not any fault of the staff here. The staff actually does a really good job of cleaning this place up. It's more of the owners that bring their dogs here, just let their dogs go all over the place and just leave it laying around. So even though it is a pro to have the dog park here, that is one con that you have to look out for.
Another bad thing about this RV park is no playground for us to play at.
And now we're moving on to things that you should keep in mind. These are good things to know, some things I wish I knew before I got to the park. So topping off the list here is that this specific county, which is Clark County, Nevada, they do require you to have your sewer hose off the ground and at a downward slope. So they do say that they have the inspectors that come by. If you do have your sewer hose laying on the ground, they could fine you. So that is something to keep in mind. If you don't have one of those little slinkies to hold your sewer hose up, you might want to get one before visiting this park. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you are over 60 feet total, including your RV and any tow vehicle or anything that you're pulling with, if it's over 60 feet, you may have to store any additional length off site. And going along with that, you could only keep one additional vehicle on your site. So you have your motorhome, your fifth wheel, whatever you have, and one vehicle parked in front. If you have additional vehicles, you will have to find somewhere else to park it. And another thing to keep in mind, there is no tent camping here at this specific location. It is only for RVs. And if you do want a 50 amp site, you do have to pay $3 extra per day. And another thing to keep in mind, if you are coming up from the north and you're making your way down to Las Vegas, you will have to make a U-turn to get into the park. It's not a huge deal, but it is something to keep in mind if you are driving a bigger RV. As you can see here, this is what the U-turn looks like. I did it in my 35-foot motorhome with no problem, but again, if you are carrying something bigger, it might be a tougher U-turn for you. So just keep that in mind. If you are coming south from the Henderson area, you're not gonna have to do that U-turn. And another thing to keep in mind while you're visiting the park, here at the activity center, they do have a lot of things going on throughout the week. On Tuesdays, they have a sing-along that you can go ahead and join. They have some other activities that you can also come through throughout the week. So that is something to keep in mind if you want to get out the RV for a little bit and come here to the activity center. They do have some stuff going on here. So my final thoughts on Thousand Trails Las Vegas RV Resort. Obviously we have some reoccurring complaints that come up over and over when browsing the reviews online, but I think the pros heavily outweigh the cons here. Again, you're in the heart of Las Vegas, you're close to shopping, groceries, a bunch of attractions and stuff like that. So I don't know what the big complaints are here. I think they're really over exaggerated. I would recommend this place to anybody. This is definitely up there with some of the better Thousand Trails that I've stayed at. So if you're thinking about visiting this park, or if this park is somewhere in the route that you're taking, I would definitely recommend staying here. I would stay here again if I'm passing through Nevada. So those are my final thoughts about this park. Let me know if there's anything that I missed. Let me know if you plan on visiting this park anywhere in the near future down in the comments. If you liked this video, if it helped you out in any way, go ahead and drop a like. It really does help us out on this channel. Make sure you subscribe, turn the notification bell, all that good stuff. And we will see you guys out on the next video.